Yo, we're gonna do another one today. All right, this one I started watching a little bit of it. Pretty crazy, actually. All I'm gonna say is I better not piss off my mom. So yeah, let's get it going.
Thank you, sir.
First up, we're in Phoenix, Arizona, where 92-year-old Anna Mae Blessing is being interrogated about the shooting death of her son, Thomas Blessing. That morning, according to police, Blessing shot 72-year-old Thomas in his bedroom after she confronted him about his decision to move her out of their home and into an assisted living facility, something she says he promised would never happen. Police responded to a 911 call placed by the victim's girlfriend, 57-year-old Julie Tierney.
Help! Help! Help me! Help! Hello? She's gonna shoot me! He has shot her son. She is over there with a gun. I'm hiding behind my bed. Or she shot him in the neck. She's gonna shoot me. Hurry! Hurry!
I have help started for you.
When police arrived on the scene, Blessing was waiting in her bedroom.
Anna, I know you can hear me. I need you to put the gun down and walk out toward me.
Blessing was arrested without further incident. Authorities transported her to the station for questioning. Her son died at the scene.
Life is rough when you're 92.
Today, Blessing is being interrogated by Deputy Thomas Sedlacek.
So what I would like for you to do is to walk me through everything that happened from the time that you woke up this morning, Anna, all the way up until me coming in here and talking to you right now.
Well, can I, first of all, tell you what led up to this, what brought it on?
Absolutely.
Ever since we got to Arizona, why I came with him, I'll never know. But Tom is a very foul mouth. He was one of the most domineering persons I've ever known.
Blessing relocated from Florida to Arizona following the death of her husband to be under Thomas's care.
Tom has always promised me, Mom, you'll never have to go to a nursing home. I will always take care of you.
But eventually, Thomas broke his promise.
He came into my bedroom one night and told me, I'm going to put you in an old people's home. If it's between you or Julie, he says, you're the one's going to have to go because I'm 72 and I'll never get another chance at somebody like Julie. Julie got money.
The detective moves on to the events of that morning.
So what happens next after you have this discussion with Tom?
Well, I had my gun and I used it because they were going to send me to a home. When I left the room, Julie come towards me and I pulled it out and I pulled the hammer back first and pulled it out and she grabbed for it and Tom came from this side and I backed up and I pulled the trigger. And it broke the mirror, and I don't know what it did. And then Tom was going to come at me again, so I pulled the trigger.
Okay. And when you fired the first round, you said hit the mirror?
I think it hit him, but I'm not sure how.
How about the second round?
I know the second round hit him.
Okay, where did it hit him?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I do know I killed him because I bent over and took his pulse, and there was no pulse. So I knew I killed him. And I went back into my bedroom and sat in the chair and waited for the police to come.
When you went into the bedroom with the two guns, did you go in there with the intention to kill Tom?
Well, I didn't have them out at the time.
Why bring guns in there if you're going to just simply talk to him?
I don't know. He was ending my life. I always thought I was a better Christian than this. But I guess I found out I wasn't.
Blessing was arrested and charged with murder in the first degree, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and kidnapping. She pled not guilty. Months later, she had a stroke in jail and was released from custody into hospice care, where she died just weeks before her trial was set to begin. Next, we're in Vancouver, Washington, where 61-year-old Mark Leroy Denklau is being interrogated about the kidnapping and murder of a former associate. According to police reports, Denklau belonged to the Gypsy Joker Outlaw Motorcycle Club. The victim, 56-year-old Robert Lee Huggins, a.k.a. Bagger Bob, was a former member of the club, but was stripped of his membership, according to court documents, for allegedly stealing from the club and breaking into Denklau's residence, tying up his girlfriend, and stealing multiple firearms. Denklau is suspected by police, along with other members of the club, of later kidnapping and torturing Bob to death as an act of retaliation. A year after Bob's body was discovered, Detectives Scott Kurges and Kevin Harper have a new lead in the case involving Denklau's now ex-girlfriend, so they've brought him in for questioning.
Was at your house, and somebody busted in the house and roughed her up a little bit, tied her up. You remember that?
You know, I can't really answer to that. You're going to have to get that story from.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because I'm not going to answer to that but I can tell you once again, and you're going to find out that you are completely wrong.
Okay.
What's that? I'm not going to go there. I'm going to let
you're saying we're wrong.
You got the story all wrong.
Is Bagger Bob part of that?
Bagger Bob?
Yeah. That ring a bell?
Yeah, I know who that is. It's the guy that got killed about a year and a half ago.
What all took place?
Man, you know what? The story that you're talking about is somebody else's story.
Okay.
You're going to have to talk to somebody else.
Who do you suggest we chat with?
I'm not throwing names. It's somebody else's story. You're the cop. Figure it out.
I think you know that we've got it pretty well figured out. The question is, you're in a bit of a hole. We're trying to offer you a ladder to get out of this hole.
Man.
Okay? So help us get this thing unconfused. Because you're saying, go talk to people, but...
I'm not willing to sit here and tell you stories like some piece of shit. Okay? You got your world, I got mine. Mm-hmm. In my world, rats are pieces of shit.
Denklau seems to be growing more frustrated and combative with detectives.
Man, dude, I didn't do anything. I ain't got nothing to do with Bobby Bagger's murder, if that's what you're talking about. You're barking up the wrong tree. You got your stories all confused and shit.
Okay. So... can you clarify anything for us about Bagger Bob?
You know, any stories that I tell at all about that guy, they dip into club business. They did club stuff. And I'm not going to go club stuff with you guys for nothing.
Okay.
You know,
even when he was out of the club?
I will say one thing. Once that dude came out of the club, when I was out of the club, I've never seen him or know anything about him since, except that he went full junkie. But the truth is, the junkie getting caught being a junkie is what got him kicked out of the club.
Detectives leave the room to discuss how to proceed.
So a few times you've, mentioned maybe a lawyer, maybe not. If you want a lawyer, that's fine. We'll stop communicating here. If you don't want a lawyer, we can keep talking. And obviously, has the right to explain.
Then I must be going to get arrested, or you wouldn't have me call a lawyer in here. Then definitely I want a lawyer.
So I don't know what your charges are going to be. That's being determined.
Okay.
There's, in addition, there's several people that are in front of the grand jury last week and today, this week.
Partner, just que sera, sera. I didn't do anything wrong, so I'm not really too worried about anything that anybody could say in front of a grand jury.
That same day, prosecutors did charge Denklau with murder, conspiracy to commit murder, first-degree kidnapping, and first-degree conspiracy to commit kidnapping based on the grand jury testimony of other club members who cited Denklau as giving orders for the murder. But those charges were later dropped after the case was moved to federal court, where years later, Denklau was convicted of murder, kidnapping, racketeering, and conspiracy charges. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Next, we head to Mount Vernon, Ohio, where Knox County investigators are interrogating 30-year-old Matthew Hoffman about a triple murder. According to police, 4 days earlier, Hoffman, a convicted burglar, allegedly broke into a private home, looking to steal anything of value. But as he was about to leave, Hoffman was surprised by the family returning home. He stabbed the 32-year-old homeowner and mother of two, Tina Herman, her 10-year-old son, Cody Maynard, and 41-year-old family friend, Stephanie Sprang, killing them all. Tina's 13-year-old daughter escaped the attack, but Hoffman caught up with her, bound and gagged her, and then sexually assaulted her. Tina's coworker reported Tina missing after she didn't show up for work. The following day, she went to check on her and found an empty house and a lot of blood.
Yes, this is Valerie Haythorne. I called in last night about Tina Herman being missing. I am out at her house now. I just went in her home because I'm so worried about her. There is blood everywhere.
Investigators caught a break when they found a receipt for tarps and trash bags at the crime scene and then matched it to surveillance video from the store, showing Hoffman making the purchase. When they arrived at his home, police found Hoffman asleep on a couch and collections of leaves. Tina's 13-year-old daughter, hands and feet bound with rope and duct tape, was locked in his basement on top of a bed of leaves. She was taken to the hospital and later released. Police reported, though she had been through a lot, a medical examination concluded that she was physically okay. But there were no signs of the rest of the missing family members or their friend Stephanie. Hoffman was brought in for questioning, but at first, he refused to speak.
I think you know what we want to talk about, but we need to find some people. Matt, can you hear me? We'll give you a minute, man, if you need to think a little bit. Just tell us when you're ready.
After 4 hours of silence, investigators change Hoffman out of his street clothes and into an anti-suicide smock. They try a different approach, bringing in a female interrogator, hoping to establish a friendly rapport with Hoffman.
Hi, Matt. Hi, my name is Chris. I wanted to talk to you for a second if I could. If you're willing to just, chat with me, I can easily take those cuffs off from you. I don't mind.
The agent even shares a pizza with Hoffman.
It's good stuff. Do you want some more? Or you want me to? Plenty here. You sure you want another piece? Or two? Yeah.
Hoffman starts to talk and begins asking some questions of his own.
So did you go to Quantico?
I did.
Was that just training?
Yeah. I was there about 4 months. That's what you have to graduate from to get in. Have you ever been there?
I bet your parents are proud.
Notice Special Agent Kaju occasionally touching Hoffman on the leg as she attempts to make a connection, and it works. Eventually, almost 4 hours into the interrogation, he opens up about abducting Sarah.
I felt when the SWAT team came in the morning. We waved. She went back to her family, and then I didn't know what to do. What do I do with this girl? How did this even happen? What's going on? And I was just gonna take care of her and try to figure out what happened. I never even watched any of the news. I was trying to backtrack on my steps and where I'd been.
Hoffman doesn't, however, admit to killing the rest of Sarah's family and Stephanie Sprang. But 2 months later, he struck a deal with the prosecuting attorney, confessed to the killings, and led police to the location of the 3 victims' bodies in the trunk of a tree in a wooded area about 6 miles from the Herman home. Police had to chainsaw the 60-foot tree open to recover the bodies. Hoffman pleaded guilty to aggravated murder, gross abuse of a corpse, burglary, kidnapping, and sexual assault charges. In exchange for his cooperation, he was spared a possible death penalty and sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole. We're in Janesville, Wisconsin, where 17-year-old Quantrell Schwartzlow has been arrested for sexual assault and strangulation. About 3 months earlier, Schwartzlow allegedly choked his victim until she became unconscious. According to the victim, he then allegedly sexually assaulted her. The young female victim reported the incident, and a warrant was issued for Schwartzlow's arrest. Today, Detective Richard Camholes escorts the suspect, who's in handcuffs, into an interrogation room.
Can I take this off or not? Just give me a minute.
The detective leaves the room, and the suspect immediately turns towards the window. About 3 seconds after the detective leaves, a cuffed Schwartzlow opens an unlocked window and dives headfirst from the second floor onto a bed of grass. A surveillance camera captures the suspect running across the property as he makes his escape. 14 minutes later, Detective Camholes returns to the room, presumably to begin the interrogation.
Oh, no. Way.
Police immediately begin a massive search to find the suspect. About 3 hours later, police locate Schwartzlow at a friend's house. He was taken into custody again and charged with strangulation, sexual assault, and escape. Schwartzlow pled guilty to strangulation and escape in exchange for the sexual assault charge being dropped. He was sentenced to 4 years in prison plus 4 years of probation. Next, we're in Bowling Green, Kentucky, where 33-year-old Kathy Coy has voluntarily agreed to be questioned by Kentucky State Police. Hours earlier, Kathy entered a nearby hospital holding a newborn baby boy she claimed was hers. The umbilical cord was still attached to the baby. Remarkably, the newborn was healthy, despite being born 5 weeks early. When doctors examined Kathy, it was clear this was not her baby. Hospital administrators immediately called police. Kathy was twice divorced and lived with her 2 teenage children. She had recently told her family she was pregnant, despite not showing any physical signs. She later told her children she had miscarried. Kathy had also become friends through social media with 2 pregnant women, one of which was 21-year-old Jamie Stice. On the morning Kathy arrived at the hospital carrying the baby, she told family members she intended to go shopping for baby clothes with Jamie. It never happened. Moments after Kathy is brought to the interrogation room, she makes a bizarre statement to herself.
Why did I have to buy that baby? I'm not stupid. I knew not to do it.
Captain Lisa Rudzinski and another officer sit down with Kathy to get some answers.
I feel so stupid though, because I know it's illegal to buy a baby, okay? Okay?
No, don't beat yourself up, all right?
We're just trying to find out where the baby came from. Okay?
Ashley gave it to me.
Okay?
Kathy just claimed she purchased the baby with help from a woman named Ashley. When police speak to Kathy's family, none of them are familiar with Ashley. The captain tries to get some information about Ashley.
Have you been talking to her on the phone?
No. She made sure there was no phone conversations, so it couldn't be traced, no computer, anything. We just met over there at the parking lot.
Meanwhile, as police continue to question Kathy, Jamie's mother has reported her pregnant daughter missing. At this point, detectives Chad Wynn and Brad Stevenson take over the investigation to find out what happened to Jamie.
And I'll tell you something else.
The doctor said there's no way she could have survived.
I didn't do it though.
There's no way she could have survived. But here's the deal, honey. You show up at the hospital with the baby. She's with you. That's the last time anybody ever saw her. We also know that Jamie was in the car with you today, and you picked Jamie up at her house. Listen. We got eyewitnesses that saw Jamie get in the car with you.
Who?
The evidence clearly shows that that's Jamie's baby. And also the evidence clearly shows that you're the one that took that baby from Jamie. Okay?
I didn't take that baby.
Now listen to me. Where did you leave Jamie?
Jamie got in the car with Ashley.
Jamie got in the car with Ashley. Did you plan this with Ashley?
No, I did not.
By now, Officer Wynn has heard about enough of Ashley.
Is Ashley really, you talking about
Yes,
yourself? There is no Ashley. Yeah.
Yes, there is an Ashley.
Really? There's an Ashley.
Yes, there is an Ashley.
Where's Ashley and where's Jamie?
You want me to tell you where Jamie is?
Yes.
I don't know.
After Kathy grabs the officer's recorder, police decide to change tactics. Because she's claiming to have a split personality, a second team of officers direct their questions not at Kathy, but at Ashley. And it gets results.
Kathy don't know what I want to know.
No, I do.
I know you do.
But who's going in for it?
Both of you. If you care about Kathy and you want to see her get some help, listen.
I don't care!
I didn't ask you if you cared.
I had everybody fooled.
Yeah, except for me.
How did you figure it out? How?
Kathy told me.
No, she didn't.
She did.
No, she didn't.
She did.
She don't want nobody to know.
Tell us where.
Kathy would not. Damn. Y'all are paying me for stupid.
I ain't playing you for stupid. Kathy is a lying that told on you.
After hours of questioning, Kathy, or perhaps Ashley, reaches her breaking point.
Y'all so pissing me off!
Police decide to end the interrogation and place Kathy under arrest. The next day, Jamie's body was discovered in a wooded area. Her wrists had been bound and her throat slit. Kathy later admitted using a stun gun to subdue Jamie before killing her and removing the baby. According to police, Kathy had a history of harassing pregnant women and faking her own pregnancy.
And you are going to prison. You're going to prison.
But I don't give a
Come on.
That's on me.
Kathy Coy was charged with murder, kidnapping, and tampering with physical evidence. To avoid the death penalty, she pled guilty but mentally ill. She was sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole. Jamie's baby lives with his father as well as his maternal grandparents. Next, we're in Jacksonville, Florida, where 32-year-old William Reuben Ebron Jr. is being interviewed by detectives about his girlfriend's missing toddler. Less than 6 hours earlier, 21-month-old Lonzie Barton went missing when the car he was in, driven by Ebron, was reported stolen at 2 a.m. At the time, Ebron was supposed to be babysitting the child while his girlfriend, 26-year-old Lana Lorimore Barton, worked her shift at a local strip club. Ebron claims he was leaving the couple's apartment to pick Lana up at work. He says he went back inside to get something he'd forgotten, leaving the car running with baby Lonzie still inside. When he returned, the car and child were gone. But Ebron's story doesn't match phone and video records that place him at a laundromat, a storage unit, and a gas station between 8 p.m. and 2 a.m., the period he claimed he was home. So he's brought in for questioning. Detective Sean Coursey presses Ebron to come clean, but he isn't getting anywhere. So he tries a different tactic.
No physical contact. There's gas in on the other side of the table. I'm gonna give you about 2 minutes.
Detective Coursey brings Lana, the missing boy's mother and Ebron's girlfriend, into the interrogation room and then leaves the two alone. Ebron tries to convince Lana he's innocent.
You think I did this?
No, I just want to know what's going on, Ruben. I just want an answer. I just want to know if my kid is okay.
Ebron won't give a straight answer, as the distraught mother fears the worst.
All I can think about every time I shut my eyes, all I can see is this little face. And whatever it is, good, bad, in the middle even, I just want to know if my kid's coming back to me, how I'm gonna get him back. And what I need to set my mentality at, whether it be good or bad. That's it.
Nearly 30 minutes after sitting down with Ebron, Lana is alone again with him and has had enough of his silence.
I'm getting pissed off. I want my kid back. I want to know he's alive. I want to be able to pick him up if he's not okay and get him help if he needs it, or if it's even at that point anymore. My window is closing to me not finding my kid, Ruben. I mean, just point me in the direction.
I don't know.
Now Detective Dennis Sullivan enters the interrogation room and turns the heat up on Ebron.
You know where that boy's at. I'll bet you $1 million or whatever you want. I'll lay it out right here. You tell me you know where he's at. You are lying to her, you're scared or whatever, you know what happened. Where's her son? Where's her son?
Ebron says he loves Lonzy and claims he would never harm him. But Detective Sullivan is not convinced.
I'm not saying you didn't have love for that kid, but right now you're showing more love for yourself. And that's what bothers me. As a parent, I'll stand in front of a train, bullet, or whatever, building falling down for my kid. I think she will too. I think you would at one point, but today you're letting fear control you.
Just put me in front of that train right now.
I want to find the kid. If you want to go get in front of a train after that, that's on you. Give me the kid, and I'll let you stand in front of a train. Get her that kid. If you love this woman, get her kid back.
Go. Do you hear me?
Take me to my kid. I want my kid. I want my baby. I just want my baby.
Ebron remains tight-lipped with Barton in the room, so Detective Sullivan decides it's time for her to leave.
Stand your butt up if you don't want me grabbing you, please.
Ruben, please just...
Come on. Come on.
Please just tell me.
Come on.
He's not gonna tell you.
The interrogation ends. Ruben maintained his innocence for 7 months, but on the day his trial was to begin, he led investigators to Lonzy's body, hidden in a wooded area less than 5 miles from his apartment. He also changed his story, admitting that the baby drowned in the bathtub while he and Lana were having sex. He pled guilty to aggravated manslaughter and was sentenced to 20 years in prison without the possibility of parole. Lana was later charged and convicted of child neglect for failing to seek medical treatment for injuries to Lonzy the afternoon before he went missing. She was sentenced to 5 years in prison. She maintains that Lonzy was alive when she went to work that evening. The medical examiner was unable to determine the cause of Lonzy's death. We're in the Warren County Sheriff's Office in Lake George, New York. It's Christmas Eve, and 46-year-old Clifford Burns is being questioned about the fatal stabbing of his estranged wife, 42-year-old Patricia Burns. According to police, a few days earlier, Burns' lawyer warned him that he may soon be arrested for non-payment of child support for the 2 teen daughters he shared with Patricia. Burns ignored an active restraining order and went to the home that Patricia and the girls shared with her adult daughter, Megan. Wearing a ski mask, Burns stabbed Patricia repeatedly in the abdomen with a hunting knife, killing her. He also cut Megan on the arm after she pulled his mask off. His 14-year-old daughter called 911. But when police arrived on scene, Burns drove off and led them on a brief high-speed chase. It ended when Burns pulled into the sheriff's office 12 miles away and turned himself in.
I love my daughters. I haven't seen them in 8 months because of 2 court orders. And you know, it's Christmas time.
In the interrogation room, Under Sheriff Sean Lamourie cuffs Burns to the table for safety.
Why didn't you guys just fucking put a bullet in my head? Look at me, won't hurt anybody. I don't want to either. Do you understand? I love that woman, and I love my kids with all my heart. And I haven't seen them. And she took everything from me. Let's stay right here. I get a call from my lawyer saying they're coming with a warrant for my arrest for missing 2 child support payments. I stayed away. I haven't seen my kids in 8 months. It's Christmas. I gotta refrain myself because I can't even take it no more.
Burns then begins ranting at police.
Because I'm Irish, I am your brother, man. I'd have your back all the way in Iraq. You would have loved to have a mother like me in Iraq, wouldn't you? I love this country, and it did me wrong. Wrong. You, mother. I'm a man in every aspect, mother. This is the Wild West, man, and I'm a wild mother, ain't I now? I am the devil. I can't take it no more. I just want to see my kids. That's all I'm asking for. Who was at the house tonight when you... I don't know. I lost it. I don't know what to tell you. Today was the last straw. All right? Do you remember anything about what happened when you got out? I don't remember a thing. You ask me again, I'm going to put my foot through your head.
About 2 hours later, Burns asks for his lawyer, and for the first time since his arrest, he stops talking. But not for long.
I'm a coward is what the I am now. My kids hate me now, and it was all over because I loved them.
After 5 hours in the interrogation room, Burns was charged with second-degree murder for killing his estranged wife, Patricia. He pled guilty the following spring. But at sentencing 8 months after the killing, Burns tried to take back his plea, claiming a visit with his daughters before the hearing had made him plea under emotional duress. The judge rejected the motion and sentenced Burns to 23 years to life. He'll be eligible for parole in 2036, when he would be 69 years old. Burns was also barred from any future contact with his 2 daughters. Next, we're at the police department in Pensacola, Florida, where Escambia County crime scene technician Ashley MacArthur has become the prime suspect in the disappearance of her best friend, 33-year-old private investigator Taylor Wright. A few months earlier, Taylor asked MacArthur to hide a cashier's check for $34,000 while she went through a divorce. A few weeks later, Taylor asked MacArthur to return the check. According to Taylor's girlfriend, MacArthur reportedly agreed. But then, Taylor disappeared. When police initially interviewed MacArthur, she claimed that Taylor was upset about her divorce and wanted to disappear. Investigators discovered that MacArthur had forged Taylor's signature on the cashier's check, deposited the money, and then quickly spent it on lavish gifts for her boyfriend. A month after her first interview, MacArthur is back in the interrogation room, where detectives Richard Gigliotti and Chad Wilhite have follow-up questions about the check and about some new cell phone evidence that contradicts statements MacArthur made in her first interview.
When we started plotting all the phone calls that you and Taylor were making that day, there were some discrepancies in what you had told us.
MacArthur originally told police they were out riding horses, but the new cell phone location evidence shows She was at her aunt's farm, over 50 miles away.
What were y'all doing out there at this farm? You know y'all were there.
We picked up some stuff that Taylor had there that that she had stored. Some kind of lockbox that she had.
MacArthur tells detectives that Taylor's check was actually at the farm in a lockbox and that she'd driven her there to get it. But Gigliotti and Wilhite know that MacArthur had already deposited the money into her own bank account.
When y'all leave there, where do y'all go?
I don't really remember. I mean, like I said, it wasn't like we were just really kind of riding around.
What were you thinking about?
It was just kind of a regular day.
Regular day? If it's so regular, why wouldn't they tell us about this? And we're working a missing person case where your friend for over a year is missing.
I honestly didn't think it was very important to this at all.
Why was the rest of the day important, though?
I mean, really, that whole day was not. I mean, like, us going to my office and any of that.
I think something happened and you're trying to forget about it, personally. You have phone calls all day because here's your phone record.
Sure.
160 pages worth.
Oh, I understand.
All right, so you go back out there. When you say you're not sure if you went back out, probably didn't. You actually did go back out there at 2:45. And you were out there for quite a while.
So, really, in essence, you spent, it seems like, at least a large portion of the majority of your day out here.
It really wasn't, though. I mean, we were
several hours.
You're still there. And you're still there.
What MacArthur doesn't know is that at this moment, police are executing a search warrant on the farm. They give MacArthur one final chance to come clean.
Where is Taylor at? You need to tell us where she's at.
I don't know where she is. I don't have a clue.
Tell me what you did to her.
I didn't do anything to her.
If she's at that farm, we're going to find her because we're executing a search warrant out there right now.
That's fine, but she's not going to be there.
Then where's she at?
I don't know where she is.
Where's her body at?
I don't know where she is.
She's dead, though. We know
I don't
that.
believe that.
MacArthur asks for a lawyer, and the interrogation is over. A few hours later, Taylor's body was found on the farm, buried in a shallow grave with a bullet hole in the back of the head. MacArthur was arrested and charged with first-degree premeditated murder. She maintained her innocence, but 2 years later, Ashley MacArthur was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Next, we're in Orlando, Florida, where 24-year-old former Walt Disney World employee Patrick Spikes is being questioned as a person of interest in connection to the alleged theft of more than $7,000 worth of memorabilia from the theme park, according to police reports. The allegedly stolen items are costumes and wigs from the Magic Kingdom's Haunted Mansion attraction. Court documents detail how Spikes became a suspect after he allegedly posted some of the stolen items on social media 2 months after they were taken. And police say Spikes received more than $30,000 in PayPal payments for the items. Today, detectives David Foro Jr. and Kent Mathern interrogate Spikes at Orlando PD headquarters.
No one from Disney's here. Well, you're not detained, you're not arrested, you're free to leave. You understand that? Yeah. Okay, I want to make sure that we're on the same page. Your phone ever been stolen?
No, why you ask?
Well, I'm trying to figure out if anyone would have taken your phone and used it anywhere.
Why do you think this?
I'm asking. Okay, so you don't loan your phone out to anybody else. Okay, so, because here's why. So, we're gonna talk.
Detectives then present 2 photos of the allegedly stolen items that they say they've traced to Spike's phone.
Can you put your phone on the table for me? Yeah, just put it over here. Don't mess with it. Just put it down. Okay. So, are these pictures on that phone?
Nope.
Were they taken with that phone?
Nope.
Okay. So, how long have you owned that phone?
Maybe. I mean.
No? Put it down. I don't want you touching it. So those pictures are on the internet right now, and they're attached to your phone number. You didn't send those pictures out?
Nope.
Okay. So that's not your car. You don't own a bag like that or ever possessed one like that. This isn't Disney World backstage. This isn't your leg. I just want to get this all out in the open so later on, because obviously you realize now I know more than you think I know. Okay? I want to make sure all your lies are straight right now, or you want to come forward right now, because I know a little bit more than I'm telling you, Patrick.
What do you know?
This is your car. That's your leg. These are the things you had in your possession. We want them back.
As detectives continue to turn up the heat, Spike seems to decide that it's time for him to exercise his right to legal counsel.
Well, how about this?
Yep.
I'm about to walk out.
Okay.
And you guys want to talk and come back to my attorney. How about that?
Okay. Keep the car there. And we're keeping your phone. And actually, now give me that.
Damn it. I'm under arrest. Okay, I'm gonna cooperate.
Oh, okay. Yeah? Okay. You're gonna be secured right now. Okay? You're not gonna destroy evidence right in front of me. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Am I under arrest?
You're gonna be detained at this point.
I call my mom and tell her that...
You're an adult, correct?
Yeah.
I'm not calling your mom. Stay there.
Eventually, Spikes entered a no-contest plea for dealing in stolen property, which landed him 10 years probation, 250 hours of community service, and more than $25,000 in restitution. He was also ordered to never return to Disney parks.
Got a second we can talk?
Yeah, I do. What's going on?
Next, we're in Idaho Falls, Idaho, where 39-year-old middle school cafeteria worker Brandy Morgan is being interrogated about a hit-and-run incident where a man was run over in a parking lot. Days earlier, security cameras captured footage that investigators say shows a driver very deliberately and on purpose plowing into a pedestrian before fleeing the scene. The victim was taken to the hospital, having suffered 2 broken feet, but survived. An eyewitness told an officer that the driver yelled something like, "That's what you get." In a press release, police asked for the community's help finding the vehicle and its driver. And just over a month after the incident, police received an anonymous tip IDing Morgan as the driver and claiming that Morgan hit the victim because she believed he had sexually assaulted a member of her family several years earlier. Today, Detective Stetson Belknap has tracked Morgan down at work for questioning.
I am here about an incident that happened on January 18th. Have you any idea what I'm talking about?
I don't think so.
I know you know what this is talking about because I know you've seen it in the news, and I know that you're kind of scared of what's going on and the repercussions, but it's in reference to a vehicle accident in the Winco parking lot.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Do you recall what happened there?
No idea.
Okay. I've been investigating this since it happened, okay?
Okay.
I understand there's more to the story than what I know right now, okay? But I also know what happened, okay?
Okay.
I know that your vehicle was used to run somebody over, and that you were the driver.
Okay.
I know those things, okay?
All right.
I understand there's more to the story on the backside of that, the reasoning to and why. And that's what I'm kind of interested in right now. Would you like to tell me about that?
I don't think that's in my best interest, is it?
What do you mean by that?
I'm making legal statements here. Like, do I need...
You always have the ability to have an attorney.
Okay.
With the Q&A now on pause, Detective Belknap shows Morgan the security footage from the night of the incident.
Notice that he doesn't get up? What do you think happened to him? We can stop it there. That's the end of it.
Okay. I have no idea.
Okay. It's concerning to me.
To anything, but there is a backstory.
And I don't need you to admit to it. I have your car on camera doing it, and you are the exact several witnesses of who it is, right? I'm not here by chance, right?
Morgan decides to let the detective in on the backstory that she hit the man because she believed he sexually assaulted her young daughter 5 years earlier.
Who is the male that supposedly, whatever happened, would it change the situation? I'll know that you didn't hit.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't.
Great.
You hit an innocent person and broke both of his feet, required surgery, and kept him away from his job. Does that change the situation?
A little bit.
Okay. Do you want to talk to me now?
I don't know.
It's up to you. I'm not going to force you to talk to me, but I think that's something you need to know. Is the person that you hit. A guy that goes to work every day, has never had a run on the law, never done anything bad, goes to work and was simply stopping at the liquor store to get something that his wife requested him to get, and instead he got 2 broken feet for it.
Damn.
Do you think our anger and our haste and our anger probably overclouds
Oh, probably.
the situation?
It's the biggest regret of my life.
You ran over the wrong person and left him there in the parking lot.
I was absolutely certain that it was him 100%. So I wasn't feeling bad.
So you didn't care?
I hope that he hurt every day for the rest of his life.
Like I said, I can sympathize with that and I can understand that. But the fact of the matter is the one that's been hurt and not.
Morgan was released following the interrogation, but she was later arrested and charged with felony aggravated battery and felony leaving the scene of an accident resulting in injury or death. She was issued a no-contact order and released on a $35,000 bond. Morgan originally pled not guilty to all charges, but as part of a deal, she later pled guilty to the battery charge in exchange for the prosecution dismissing the leaving the scene charge. Morgan was sentenced to 2 to 10 years in prison. She'll be eligible for parole after 2 years when she'd be 41 years old. We're at the Louisville Metro Police Department in Kentucky, where 28-year-old Justin Kendall has just been arrested for the home invasion of a 32-year-old woman named Candy. According to a police report, 2 weeks earlier, Kendall approached Candy at her apartment complex, looking for a man she didn't know. Kendall left, and a neighbor told Candy he recognized Kendall, who he knew since they were kids. According to a police incident report, 10 days later, Candy called 911 in the early morning and reported that Kendall broke into her home and stole electronics. Her 12-year-old daughter saw Kendall leaving. Fearing for their safety, Candy took her daughter to her mother's house. She returned home to gather belongings and take a shower. When she claims, Kendall broke in again, hit her with a vanity mirror, and fled. Candy then called 911 for the second time.
911, where's your emergency? My house got broken into this morning, and the cops came in, and the guy came back. Please, somebody, please come. Well, he came back and broke in? Yeah, from the shower, and he came and he came in the bathroom, and he was like yelling, "Oh, bitch!" And he threw the mirror. Do you need an ambulance? No, I'm okay. I just need them to come.
Police responded again, and after a 2-day search, located Kendall and brought him in for questioning. Kendall claimed he wasn't involved in the break-in. Officer Joe Berg and Detective Greg Bird know there's more to the story. They start their questioning by confronting Kendall with the results of a photo lineup.
This here is 6 pictures. Okay, one of them's you. All right. Candy, picked you out. Okay. And the 12-year-old girl picked you out. All right. That you were in the apartment that morning. You threw a rock through the window.
And she's saying she seen my face before the break-in happened?
Yeah.
'Cause I didn't break in her house. I don't know who she is. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know no girl named Candy. None of that.
Why is she saying that you're...
I don't know why she's saying she's... I don't know why. I don't know.
But he later admits he has heard of a girl named Candy.
I was not there. I don't know this girl Candy. The only Candy that I even heard of is this guy I know named dates her.
Okay.
That's it.
How do you know?
I grew up with the dude, man. That's all I know about this girl Candy.
So now we got it clear that you do know a Candy.
No, I don't know the girl.
Have you ever seen her?
One time we up the bar, that's it.
How long ago?
Maybe a week.
A week ago?
Maybe.
Kendall, who's currently on probation for third-degree assault on a police officer and resisting arrest, remains steadfast in his innocence.
I used to be a piece of I got a picture. I told myself I wasn't going back. I ain't done nothing but work my ass off the entire time I've been out. If I don't go to work, I sit in my mother's house in the basement and live a square-ass life. I did not do this.
Well, the story doesn't end there. Between 6:30 and 7, I should get in the shower, getting dressed, and then you come again, take a vanity mirror, and you hit her over the head with it, and you guys fight. And she got injuries.
As Kendall grows more enraged, he decides to point police in a different direction.
And no, hell no, man. No, man. And hell no, man. Get her boyfriend on her and question him about her injuries. Look at that straight right there. I don't touch women. That's not even a question. I did not break in her house, neither. This is I haven't done nothing wrong. I'm sorry to freak out, man, but I didn't do this. I did not do this, man.
Alright. Sit here and relax. You need anything?
Yeah, can I go? Y'all give me a cigarette? Something?
I'll give you a cigarette. You want water?
Yeah.
Chill out. I'll get you water, alright?
I didn't do this, man. I swear to God.
Chill out, alright?
Oh my God, man. I did not do this, man. Damn, we'll say no about no PlayStation.
Kendall mutters to himself about a PlayStation. One of the items that was stolen from Candy's house.
Come on, let's go.
When detectives returned, Kendall was arrested and charged with first-degree robbery, second-degree assault, second-degree robbery, and misdemeanor theft by unlawful taking property valued under $500 and was placed on house arrest. A year and a half later, at trial, Kendall changed his story. He claimed he was at the home and that a man he believed was her boyfriend showed up, and Kendall left. But Candy's story never changed.